I call to order this meeting of the Rupert County Industrial Development Agency of November 17th, 2021. Looking for a motion to approve the transcript of our meeting of October 20th, 2021.
I have a comment on that transcript. I read it. I wasn't here, but just as far as Mr. Solak's comment about the local labor unions, building trades labor unions having exclusivity to the labor policy, that's inaccurate. We have no claim to that labor. We probably less of that work in the local non-union thing. So that, this statement there is factual.
Thank you.
We'd like it all to be union, but it's not the way it goes.
Thanks for the clarification. With that said, are there any other comments? Looking for a motion. So moved. Thanks, Jim. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Joe. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Moving forward, we have our public comment session. Anybody wishing to speak on any matter concerning the IDA, please feel free to state your name and address for the record and limit your comments, please, to 5 minutes.
Hello,
John.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, John Solak. I live in Binghamton. On the agenda is something that is called IBM Country Club LLC. Now, what I'm about is avoiding snafus, mitigation of risk, that type of thing. And I know the Department of State approved this filing. I don't know whether that was perfunctory or not. But I think it behooves you, and I think it's a fool's errand to do business with something named IBM Country Club LLC. What's even more distressing to me, looking out at potential confusion and aggravation, which you don't need, is the reference, the quotation that the agreement refers to IBM. Now, I remember a similar situation years ago where someone bought the remnants of a Procter & Gamble coffee brand. It was either U-Ban or Chase, something like that. And the guy was a bit of a con man. And as soon as he got a hold of the name, which he legitimately acquired from Procter & Gamble, everybody thought that Procter & Gamble was still a Procter & Gamble brand. So they extended him all kinds of credit. And he went on to con as much as he could. I'm not suggesting this is the case. What I'm suggesting is that with all the problems this area has had with IBM, to do business with an outfit that could be confused by somebody at some time in the future as a unit of IBM is absolutely asinine. I would like to see that clarified in the agreement, that this is not an IBM, since you have it in parentheses, property. I mean, this is bizarre to me. I mean, you couldn't go back to the guy and say, hey, why don't you change the name and not put IBM in the name? I think you're asking for trouble somewhere down the line. Again, that's my comment on that. Let's see, the pay raise, it's not what transpires, what it actually is, it's how it looks. It looked very bad not to let it ride for another month. It looked like a fast one was being pulled with it being placed last minute on the agenda. Bad form. And I'm interested now, is the this is a pay for the position or a pay for Stacy. Because if the next person to come in, I'm just always curious that is it the pay raise to the individual or the position? And obviously it's a pay raise to the individual because I believe your employment agreement reflects that. So it's strange to me. Now, when I commented about an overall labor policy for the agency, I wasn't suggesting that your agreements reflect this. I just saying that I think it's a lack of solidarity. It's a lack of what made this country great, which is unions. And when unions begin to look out solely for themselves, I think they've betrayed the idea of organized labor. How much time do I have?
30 seconds.
Okay, well, I won't go into anything else. It's too short a time, and I would hope that you make arrangements to clarify this in your agreement about IBM. Thanks.
Thank you, John. Would anybody else like to speak at this public comment session? We'll call the session to a close. Executive Director's report, Stacy, updates?
Thank you, Chairman. Just a few things to report to the board. Some good news to share, as was referenced briefly in our governance committee meeting on Monday. We were able to close our pilot agreement with Paulus Development on the project at 59 Lester Ave, which has been supported by this organization. That is the adaptive reuse of the historic Victory factory building in Johnson City. I think we started work on this project and it seems like a lifetime ago, but began work with Matthew Paulus on this project back in 2018. It's taken a pandemic, it's gone through a pandemic and a lot of increase in costs, but he's was at a point to close. So for those reasons, when we get to item number 7, as we did in governance, we will rescind that, remove that. There is no longer a request for the additional mortgage reporting tax increase. So Matthew wanted me to extend thanks to the board, called last evening and appreciated all the board support. He's expecting a more public-facing event coming up probably sometime before the end of the year. So the project will begin in earnest. It's a lot right now. It's just remediation work being done at the facility. So good news there. I wanted to let the staff, staff attended IDA Academy. These are biannual events hosted by New York State IDALDC, our state association, and they're really great educational events and best practice events. Some of the topics I think would be timely to this board and some of our recent discussions included what the state is, what EDC is working with the state on for a new appraisal process for wind and solar projects. Across statewide, IDAs has been frustrated by the lack of consistency and clarity on how these things are being assessed, and so that they're looking to create some more standardized systems there. We did a demo of a cost-benefit analysis tool that's being developed by a group, MRB group, and we plan to purchase this tool. It's a software platform. It does have a deeper dive than some of the information that we currently use for AVO standards. It does give you, I think, a deeper, more robust sense of the economic impact of these projects. So we're going to beta test that. So we're going to be part of the group to beta test that software, and I think we will have more information to you, but I think it'll be a useful tool for staff. And the other topic, there was discussion on the prevailing wage implementation and a lot of gray area as to when or how that will be implemented. So I don't have a lot to report, but I will keep the board apprised as we learn. And then lastly, always good updates from Birdie's budget office. And I think that the theme of that was a more increased focus on the issue of conflicts of interest and execution of policies related to conflicts of interest. So we'll be sending all of the transcripts and records and slides from the program as soon as we receive them. We can share them with the board and make those available to you. Just a quick note, we have scheduled a few, we're going to start some quarterly educational series in 2022. The first of which we're planning a lunch and learn with Harris Beach, Chris Andrucci at Harris Beach. We're going to invite nonprofits from the area to learn more about our tax exempt bond financing program and how that can be utilized as a financing tool for larger scale nonprofit programs. We're also planning one on the new market tax credit program with Kevin Brems with NBC. So we're excited to get those going, and then we'll offer some on a quarterly basis, including for our local municipalities, just basically pilot funds, sales tax exemptions. So we'll be going in 2022. And lastly and finally, with it's a bittersweet announcement, but as I sent a note to the board via email yesterday, I wanted to make sure to say to the community that Tom Gray, who has been with the organization for lifetime, 20 years.
Seems longer than that.
Has decided to retire from his position as Senior Deputy Operations Director. Again, it's bittersweet. As I noted in my email, I consider him the Yoda of the organization, always keeping us calm and sound and always ready for thoughtful debate on what we do, and has been a great supporter and friend to me and the team, and will be greatly missed. But that being said, we think this is a great new chapter for he and Diane, and we wish them all the best.
I'm certainly the same height as Yoda. That's for sure.
So with that.
We've had a chance to review the internal financial reports for the organization. Are there any questions or comments relative to those? Moving on, loan activity reports. I trust everyone has had a chance to review those. Questions for Tom? Tom, do you want to offer anything?
I don't have anything to add to the report.
Just Mountain Fresh Dairy is still moving through the
Yes.
process.
Yeah.
We're still moving.
We're still moving. We're just waiting for the court to reappoint the referee for the next phase, and then we'll be able to schedule the sale. But I would expect the sale, we have to advertise for a period of 1 month. Actually, it's 36 days, how long before you can start the advertising. So if not in January, in all likelihood, February, sale. Assuming they don't come in and pay us off.
If someone wants to kick the tires on that, is there a process to do that, or is there ability to do
Well,
that?
they can just get a hold of us, or
Yeah.
say get a hold of Tom, but Tom won't be here.
Oh, yeah, we can get access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually, the referee's name and our name as attorneys in the agency will appear in the newspaper ad, and we usually get a call if anyone has any interest.
Guys make your own milk for your stores.
Actually, I was trying to get a milk guy interested.
Yeah, good.
Just to do it, but it's,
Got a long tradition as a.
yeah, right. And he knows, but I haven't convinced him yet, but I'm working on it.
But
Any other questions on the loan activity report? Moving on to new business, resolution number 6. Or item number 6, resolution authorizing an extension of the sales and use tax exemption letter of Bluestone Mint LLC from December 29, 2021 through and including December 29, 2022. Stacy?
Yes, this is a request for the extension in the term of the sales tax exemption, nothing to do with the actual amount of what was approved. Bluestone Wind project is well into construction with the majority of roads and other civil work now completed on site. And the team is actively pouring concrete foundations, installing the underground electrical collection system. As you know, with the arrival of winter weather upon us, a planned restart of all activities on site is planned for March or April of 2022. But they are still on schedule to bring the project into commercial operation late Q3 of 2022 as planned. Some of the outstanding activities on site, such as the procurement and installation of wind turbines, exempt from sales tax by state law, but others will benefit from the exemption that we granted. The expiration date on this is December 29th, 2020. Although they expect to complete the majority of non-exempt activities by the end of 2021, some of that work will be 2022. So therefore, they're requesting a 1-year extension on the sales tax reduction, which would move that expiration date to December 29 of 2022.
Thank you, Stacy. Mayor, did this come through governance?
It did. Moving forward as a motion to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Thank you, Dan. Any discussion, questions, comments?
Just a technical question. I think it's answered in the letter, but in terms of the payments that is scheduled under the host community agreement and the pilot agreement and all that, none of that has shifted further out, has it?
Good question. Any other questions or comments? We'll have a vote. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Abstention.
Thank you, Cheryl. Carried. As Stacy indicated earlier, item number 7 has been removed from the agenda, so we'll move on to item number 8. Resolution.
Forgive me, just a point of clarification to John Solak's remarks. We do not intend to use the name IBM in any shape, form, or fashion. The reason that appears is that the IBM Country Club LLC owns the property now. So the relationship, contractual relationship we have in order to purchase the property is with that LLC. Once we purchase it, we will obviously not be using the IBM name. And John, I have whittled that resolution down a little bit. Use that.
Use this one? 5 or 6 versions of it. Resolution authorizing the agency to exercise its option to purchase the property located at 4301 Watson Boulevard in the town of Union, Boone County, New York, owned by IBM Country Club LLC, pursuant to the terms of an agreement dated June 24th, 2021, and to assign its rights thereunder to the Boone County Local Development Corporation. Stacy.
Okay. Well, yes, I'm thrilled to bring this to the attention of the board and to request that we exercise our option. To me, that indicates some forward movement on a redevelopment strategy. That being said, the board, members of the governance committee and board had the opportunity to hear a presentation from an interested developer. Today's action does not mean that we are supporting or definitely, moving forward with that specific project, but we have had the option on this property since sometime in 2018. Very unsuccessfully issued an RFP in late 2019, early 2020, and I think with COVID that didn't help. But thanks to the county's partnership on this project and the participation of the county through grant funds to assist with the much needed redevelopment, we were able to receive some RFP responses over the summer. I think there is one currently that demonstrates capacity, that demonstrates alignment with, I think, the town and the county's goals for that site, as well as demonstrates a need for this community. So that being said, with that, I think it would be prudent for us to exercise the option so that we can enter into a more deeper discussion with this potential developer. Additionally, with regard to what we think would be the eventual demolition, there are some steps that we need to do, and it does require us to own the site. So with that, I think I don't have any additional information, but I'm happy to answer questions.
Questions for Stacy at this point? Mayor,
The governance committee moves it forward as a motion to approve.
is there a second? Yeah. Discussion. It's pretty well explained. We'll have a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That was a yes, Cheryl?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried. Looking for a motion, unless there's anything else, to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters, and the sale of real property.
Motion.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there a second? Thank you, Dan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?